We got some movies to talk about, I think.
Fuck yeah, let's review.
Ice camera action, it's review time. Dennis and Adam, we gon' blow your mind. We're stepping up to the plate, ready to swing. Analyzing movies like a scientist would bling.
All right, you're the first scientist up here, Dennis, with a little movie we like to call The Hunger Games.
Yeah, all right. So
you want to hit that old trailer?
Oh yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
Happy Hunger Games.
Take care of them, get whatever you do, don't let them starve.
Listen to me. You're stronger than they are. You are.
Just try to win.
I will. I promise.
Hit the 17, the girl on fire!
I'm not allowed to bet, but if I could, I'd bet on you.
Thank you.
The Hunger Games, rated PG-13, in theaters and IMAX Friday.
Oh, okay. So, yes, as I had that false start ongoing here, the Hunger Games. I know I'm way behind the times, but as we've seen lately, the franchise is still evolving. We're still getting more stories out of this universe, based on the original novels. This is telling the story of a dystopian future where these death games are put on for the public to view for entertainment, in order to blah 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 dystopian horrible shit. So we've been aware of the story. We've seen these films. Like I said, I was excited to get back to this world, jump into this world for the first time, starring some incredibly talented people, Jennifer Lawrence and Josh Hutcherson, following Katniss's journey of getting thrown into the games and then having to take the place of her sister and go into this really gnarly shit. There is a classic Japanese film, Battle Royale, that I know we're on the show, and I'm like, okay, I kept hearing that comparison. I'm like, but I love Battle Royale. I don't need to see a toned down version of it. You know what? Hunger Games is still fantastic. I had a great time watching it. The visuals are great. The sets I really, really enjoyed because you really got to see that the different lives that are lived in this world, in this future, just how harsh it is for a bulk of the public versus the upper echelon, the upper crust people in the world they get to live in. The fantastic costumes all around, from the beginning to end, really. And then just the rawness of the story and these are children getting put through the shit. Of course, it turns out when the movies came out, fans of the books were a little annoyed by how much they pulled back from the on-screen visual violence that occurred in the pages of the book. That I get it, because they're trying to broaden it out to, the Harry Potter films that were coming out around the time were already pretty ramped up and were already getting pretty gnarly. So to compete with that same audience totally makes sense. But I dug this a lot more than I thought I would.
Nice.
It was kind of like, Val kind of threw it on and was like, okay, I do finally need to check this out and see how I feel about it.
I've been writing this for a while with you. I'm like, have you seen it yet? You're like, no, it's on my list. I'm like, he's never watching it.
I'm gonna start rattling through, man, because I really dug it.
Dude,
it was funny,
and they get better as they go too. And the prequels are good. Normally that's a rarity, but both.
And I'm looking forward to that too. Actually, that's what I was telling Val. It's like, hey, but there's a whole lot of movies to get through now. So that's
they're easy to fly through. We did a rewatch of all of them last year, man. They hold up, and this new one's coming out this November. Stellar fucking cast. Oh man, I'm
now
excited.
We'll be all caught up. Yeah, I'll be able to watch the new one alongside. Because
I was like you when the trailer came out. I'm like, this looks fucking stupid, and then I'm like, oh, I'm fucking hooked, man. Sell me. Is the name Peter kind of weird to me? Yeah, just call him Peter, but whatever.
Sure, Peter. I just kind of heard Lois Griffin every time.
And they were so young looking, these two.
Yeah, right. It's not wild.
Now they're like adults.
You forget, oh shit, that's right. It's been that long since all this came out, but no, yeah, I'm on board. I dug it.
Nice.
With all the other praise I was giving it, the performances were great. It definitely, it takes all of the 2.5 hours that it is. I definitely felt that, but I didn't mind that either. This was still at its point in time where we weren't afraid of going to 2.5 hour, almost 3 hour long movies in the theaters. In fact, we
True.
kind of wanted them to be that long. I don't know if you toasties remember that was an era for like 10 fucking years ago or 15 years ago.
Yeah. Fuck. Flies
We
by.
wanted them longer, not shorter.
Now we're like 90 minutes or less, baby.
Oh my, yeah, right. It's like, 76 minutes. Fuck. What am I gonna? No. No, I'm here for it. There was parts where it did get a little too fluffy. I'm like, I get it. Can we just?
Yeah.
Yes, you love each other. Okay, can we? I can move on. We don't need to keep beating a dead horse. But I get it. We're also establishing something that we're going to keep coming back to in later versions of the story. So I don't want to rag on it too hard. But for the first go out the gate, I'm here for it. I enjoyed it watching the movie, and I'm going to watch more. So
hell yeah,
I'm going to give The Hunger Games 3 slices of pie.
Whew. I like that, man. I'm happy. I was afraid. I'm like, I don't know. It could go either way. And it's funny you talk about Battle Royale. I rewatched that on the big screen like 3 months ago. Movie still holds up. And like you said, they're similar, but they're different in major ways. Like, both hold their own merits. Although I've only seen the sequel to Battle Royale once, and I feel like it didn't hold up.
Aren't there
much.
3 of them, or is there just 2?
There might be. Now let's see.
I feel like I heard there was a third one, but yeah, I've never got around to the third one. I just keep rewatching the first one because it's fucking bonkers.
Movies. You're probably right. There's probably 3 if I had to guess, but I know of 2.
Yeah.
Let's see.
No, that's one I'd like.
It's
good to revisit once in a while, and I'm like, I kind of have to mentally prepare for it just because it's so goddamn brutal.
And it's like they kill kids fast in that.
Without any fucking remorse too.
Okay,
and that
too
creepy
official,
gym teacher. Ooh, that was so gross. It all adds up to, and which is funny because I can kind of see some paralleled elements, but this is based on a well-established novel series. So I get it's like
makes sense.
We're seeing similarities after the fact when.
And
I'm sure that
every movie has something like that. It's like, oh yeah, that movie's like that. You're always pulling from classics. So it's not like
either.
Lesser.
Yeah, and it's not like either story. It's an original thought of dystopian world celebrating the execution in a public manner. I mean, that was we just had the remake of The Running Man come out not long ago.
That and The Long Walk, 2 movies.
The Long Walk,
dystopian future, people fighting for money in front of the world and dying.
Yep.
All in 1 year, 2 of them close to each other.
Exactly.
Both streaming currently. Oh man, classics. And Long Walk, directed by the same guy, man. Same guy who did most of these Hunger Game movies.
Oh shit. Oh fucking A.
He's got an knack for killing kids.
Man. And entertaining us while doing it. God.
All right. Well, speaking of killing kids, I'll get into my movie here, man. The first of the night. I got a Scream 7.
I've been planning this for a long time, Sydney. Your daughter is the same age you were when this all started.
Is your mom gonna let you out of your cage tonight?
You thought you could protect her.
Scream. Only in theaters.
All right. Well, like I said, talking about killing kids. Scream 7, what can I say about it? Does not pick up where Scream 6 left off, but we talk a lot about Scream 6. So those of you who are in the know on the Scream franchise, Scream 6, we moved to a new place. We moved to New York City. First time Scream's been in the city, and it followed our sisters from the previous Scream reboot. And we did not have Sidney Prescott, Neve Campbell's character in that movie. In this movie, now we don't have those 2 sisters, and we're not in the big city. Now we're in a small southern city. Sidney Prescott is now a mother. She's married to a cop. She has 2 younger kids and a teenage daughter who was the same age as she was when she essentially started getting attacked by Ghostface Killer. And she's just been an overly bearing mother, always worried about her kids, keeping a very strong stranglehold on them, overprotective, and just on edge, ready for anything to happen. And then one day, sure as luck would have it, Ghostface Killer's after her again, sending her calls and video messages. And but the weird twist here is, it's like, oh, I'm not gonna hide who I am. I'll tell you who I am, Sydney. It's me, Stu Mercer, Matthew Lillard's character. I'm back. You thought you killed me just because you dropped a TV on my head. Yeah, it's me. I'm here. And it's like, is this Stu? I don't know. It could be AI, but it sure as shit seems like him. And the coroner who did the work on Stu is dead now, and turns out there's not a death certificate for Stu. So maybe it is this guy popping up almost 30 years later to get revenge on me. Why'd he wait so long? I don't know. But now he's going after my family. Uh-oh. And then
Shaggy.
And, of course, Gale Weathers, Courtney Cox, comes into town, bringing two characters from the previous two Scream movies, the twins. Yes, there's twins here. Mason Gooding and Jasmine Savoy Brown, two standout characters in the Scream franchise. They play Jamie Kennedy's niece and nephew, and they're kind of these fast-talking, loose kids. And they're fun characters, and now they're interns for Gale. They don't serve much of a purpose here besides just having a good time. And what really irritates me here is, in the last movie, we brought back Hayden Panettiere's character from Scream 4, who happened to have been Sidney Prescott's cousin. And they're like, oh, she's back in the franchise, but she's not in this. And they don't even mention why she's not in this. And then, of course, if you know the background of Scream, initially this franchise was now going to be Jenna Ortega and Melissa Barrera's movie, but unfortunately, Barrera was let go from the film, and Jenna Ortega was unhappy with that, so both of them were moved away from the movie, and then even the director had left the film, and they ended up having to do a page one rewrite to make all of this make sense, and they brought back, of course, the original Scream writer who's written all the other Screams, and now he steps in to direct this one. Totally cool. He's doing a good job for a first time, or I think this is his second feature film he's directed, but if you're going to mention the events that happened in New York, you're going to bring back all the characters from that movie, but they don't mention what happened to the Carpenter sisters at all. And I get that you don't want to step over people's bodies and overstep your boundaries and leave the door open. Maybe they'll come back in future installments.
Right, because when it just seems a little weird. Fucking 47, we might get 50-year-old Jenna Ortega to come back. So let's fucking hold on to that.
And it's funny, like we were talking about the Scary Movie 6 teaser coming out right before this. In my theater, they're talking about like classic Scream queens, and it's like, well, that's why they keep bringing back Jamie Lee Curtis, and like, what's Scream without Nev Campbell? And one character's like, Scream 6. That got a rise out of the whole audience. They loved it. So it's like, everyone knows you can bring people back, but it just seemed weird. So essentially, it's about Sydney's daughter getting away from the Ghostface killer. Sydney, it's pretty much a Scream movie. You got to survive the killer. Everyone's separated. There's some comedy in it. Not as comedic as the previous films. This one's a little more darker in tone, but it still fits pretty well in there. And like I said, interestingly enough, they bring back this character from the dead. And there's other characters that come back in this movie. A lot of people from the previous movies that are alive and dead in the world are somehow brought into this, and it kind of works and it kind of doesn't work at the same time. And they even call out in the movie how there is always more than one person as Ghostface. Spoiler alert here, people. The first Ghostface in this, they kill within the first couple of minutes of the movie. But don't worry, Ghostface does come back in this movie.
Of course.
This movie is an hour and 54 minutes. It feels slightly longer than it should be. I feel like they could trim 15, 20 minutes out, make it a little tighter. I was all on board. I'm not going to lie. There was terrible reviews I heard of this franchise, even by people who love the franchise. This movie's been getting ripped apart. I'm happy to say, in my opinion, not as bad as everyone's making it out to be. Is it as good as some of the greatest Scream movies? No. Does it feel on par with some of those originals? Yes. It's just somewhere in the middle there. It's what you'd expect out of a seventh movie
Okay.
in a franchise.
Does it feel fan servicey, or is this
No.
Okay.
It feels like it could work for people who are new to the franchise itself too. And like there's some fun new people added here. Like I said, McKenna Grace is here. This character Isabel May, actress Isabel May plays Nev Campbell's daughter. I've never seen her before, but she has this familiar face and likability, and she's great as a character. I really took to her. Then you have Anna Camp coming in here. Mark Consuelos is in here. Jimmy Tatro pops up. Timothy Simons. Celeste O'Connor. There's a few familiar-looking faces. Ethan Embry. Joe McHale. There's a lot of new people being added to the mix, and it's a nice... But I will say there is some elements that happened in the last movie that happened here, like the joke the twins are like, I don't want to get stabbed tonight, like, and they're like, Sydney's daughter's like, why are you guys here? If you don't gotta be here, why are you here? They're like, well, we want to find out who Ghostface is, and it's like, I don't know. There's some goofiness that you call out, but if you can just shut your brain off, it's a decent.
But isn't that kind of all of them though? Val just kind of like we had him on the other day, and
I know you hate these movies.
I'm just not a Scream fan. It's too self-aware sort of thing. I really wish I was, and then Val puts one on. I'm like, maybe if I see no, it's still fucking ridiculous. I still can't.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like, everyone in every movie knows everything about Sidney Prescott because of all these stab movies.
God,
and she's
yes.
like, and of course, she doesn't want to talk. And
yeah.
there's all these documentaries and podcasts about her. And of course, she doesn't want to talk about it. She doesn't share it with her family, but she's overprotective. And it's like, there's only so much mileage you can get out of doing that. Come on. I don't know. But,
right. But it's also kind of the antithesis of, you were just talking about Jamie Lee Curtis's character in the Halloween films. She's like the exact opposite of that. It's like, no, I'm going to fucking tell everybody about, no, you need to watch out for Michael Myers. This is like, I kind of wish it was the other way around,
True.
Ironically, I'm more on board with that, even though a lot of the Halloween movies got really bad. But
I will say, I like the last
that are
trilogy.
really good.
But I didn't like the last in the trilogy. Like the last one really went downhill fast.
Agreed. Yeah. You can't actually
but
kill
like
Michael
you said,
Myers,
there's
people.
so
Come
many
on.
of those movies. There's only so much you can do and get mileage out of it. And they did hold their own. And they will make more, of course.
Yeah.
And they'll do the same old thing, but it's gonna work. Why not?
That's why I kind of like when franchises like this kind of break the mold a little bit, like the Saw films did with their spin-off ones.
Yep.
And,
Spiral, the Book of Saw, Jigsaw, yeah.
And then Halloween 3, where it was like fucking nothing to do with Michael Myers at all. There's literally
and it worked.
Halloween was on a TV
they're watching
in the movie. And it's probably one of my
Saturday,
it's probably one of my favorite ones, and it's so fucking weird. But I kind of like, which again they've probably tried to do, but then they fold it back into the mainline Scream universe. I'm like, no, don't even do that. Like, step back from that entirely, and then make it like, don't do copycat killers within the world. Make a copycat killer of, I love the Scream movies. I'm gonna actually do, like, I don't know. That's not the solution. But
no, but that's true, and that's the thing that I liked. The sixth movie, like I said, they went to New York, and that brought a whole new depth of feel that we didn't have before. They're running through bodegas.
It was always small
There's
towns
new things happening
and stuff. Yeah, like it was.
And this one's let's go back to a small town, and literally there's like a sundown curfew. Same music playing, same type of montage that we got in the first movie. Same looking houses, and it's like, we've done this so many times. We don't need this again. And I guess you could say Saw 3, they went to Hollywood. They were making stab. They wanted to stop it. So that was a little bit different. Watching like sound stages of them going like, holy shit, they recreated where this horrific shit happened. Like stuff like that made it feel fresh. But this is like, we're just tapping into that same spigot that we were already at.
Right. We're just looping back around.
Yeah. Which, like I said, it works as a nostalgia play. But then when the third act comes and we find out who the Ghostface killer is in the rationale behind why they did what they did, I'm like, no, you lost me. That ruined the movie for me. Make it a little bit, I don't know. Because like, I don't know.
Don't worry. Scream 8 is going to be about them making a film about the crew that got killed, making the documentary based on the making of Stab 3 or some dumb fucking shit that. and it's
And you know what?
And then Sydney. Oh fuck!
I'll tell you, my ass is going to be in the audience watching it. I can talk shit about it all day, but I will keep giving my money because I'm not hating it until they totally do me wrong and dirty. I'll come back. But would I have liked to seen the sisters continue their story? Yeah, I think that was a little richer than just tapping into Sydney again.
Sure.
But I get
if you're
it.
having
You gotta
fun,
pivot
man,
when
if
you
other
have
people
to.
are having fun, and this is what's getting people back, putting butts in seats, then
And that last
fucking
movie
do it.
was the highest grossing movie, and I believe this one's already topped that. Like, let's see.
It's already
what the
doing great.
box
Yeah,
office is.
it's crushing. So
I
it doesn't need to be my flavor. Like if it, like I said, if this is keeping the fucking lights on in movie theaters, then so be it. You know.
Yeah, let's see, 64.1 million. I want to say domestically right now, so it's not bad.
Okay.
Yeah, I think today
I feel
alone,
like horror
Sunday
moves a
alone,
little
13
slower
million.
international, but
Yeah.
it should be making its money back if it hadn't already.
Oh, actually, I lied. All right, domestic is 64 million, international 33 million, $97 million already in one weekend.
Right.
That's
All
pretty
right.
good, I think.
As long as I didn't spend $80 million making this thing. I mean, I guess that's
I'd
still a
find
profit,
that hard
though.
to believe. Yeah,
So.
I think so. Yeah.
All right. Wasn't it the whole thing is oh my God, what's her name?
Neve
Jesus
Campbell
Christ.
not coming back
Yeah.
because they didn't want to give her the money.
And
of
then
course,
she's like,
now
nope,
that-
for $7 million, I'll do it. And they're like, all right, we'll give you $7 million. I'm like,
But then
"Ooh,
the fucked up thing
girl,
I
get
heard,
it."
I think Courtney Cox only made $2 million, and she's been in every movie. It's like you got to pay these two.
Courtney Cox also still gets giant Friends checks. So I think Courtney Cox.
Are you
is doing
alluding that she
okay.
doesn't get giant checks for Cougar Town, Dennis?
They're a little bit smaller. I think her Scream residuals probably do a little better than.
Oh,
Cougar Town.
I bet, yeah. Oh, so
But,
yeah, I just looked it up. The budget for Scream 7, $45 million. So they're already double their budget.
All right.
They're good.
Everything after this is just absolute fucking sugar on top. So
Yeah.
fair enough.
So sure shit, we're getting the Scream 8. And same thing.
It's happening.
Can't rule out anything in this franchise. I'm going to give Scream 7. Sorry I've talked so long about it. I'm going to give it 3 slices of toast.
Damn. All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Oh.
Sorry, I was waiting for that sound effect. Sorry.
You were, and I was not delivering the fucking toast.
I thought you were like
I'm
building it up
sorry.
there. I'm like, all right, I like that. Cool.
No, I wish I was, but that was
No,
not.
you're good, man. You're good. All right, so you got a documentary I think to talk about here, right?
I do. It's a little Netflix flick called Queen of Chess.
Chess was a male-dominated sport.
Women were not allowed to play in male tournaments.
There is the pure mental ability needed to understand chess, and there is the personality required to become good at the game. Women don't have either of these sides.
12-year-old Hungarian schoolgirl Judith Polgar has won a major international chess tournament and made history.
In the beginning, everybody underestimated me.
Oh, they're terrible chess players.
Laszlo Polgar, together with his wife Clara, decided that they were going to be raising geniuses with this experiment.
When I was 5 years old, I started my chess training.
This 12-year-old girl with the open ponytail, and she is just dominating.
I was a killer, attacker.
She was a top player, but still a female player.
In 1994, Judith Polgar was going to play Garry Kasparov.
You have the feeling that he wants to eat you up alive.
Chess was psychological warfare, the toughest kind of competition in its purest form.
For the first time, we had a world champion facing against the world's best female player.
Is she going to be killed?
Let's go! Playing Kasparov like playing Larry Bird or Michael Jordan.
I was dreaming to win against Garry Kasparov. We played several games against each other.
She was going blow for blow with the greatest chess player of all time.
This is a dogfight.
The game is never finished. Until it really finished.
All right. So, as the trailer alluded to, this is telling the incredible story of Judit Polgár, a Hungarian grandmaster chess player. She's the youngest of three sisters whose father had very little means in their family, growing up in an Eastern Bloc country where most everything is dictated to you what the fuck you're going to do. And he said, no, I'm going to have my daughters be incredibly intelligent. They're going to be given tools that they will use to change their life. And something that was easy to get a hold of was a chessboard. And the Soviet Union churned out some of the fucking most talented chess players on the planet. They owned chess like through the 80s and 90s. Like they were destroying, from well before the fall of Berlin Wall up until long after Russia and the other countries around there. Incredible chess players. So he had determined from a very young age, from like 4 or 5 years old, all of his daughters, he would just start drilling them every day, hours a day. What little bit of money they earned, they were paying multiple chess coaches to teach them differing strategies. They had this giant file cabinet full of different grandmaster strategies that they would then practice, drilling them how to get through different stuff. To the point to where some people started to see it as abuse, where like, this is crazy. Like he didn't send them to the state school. He insisted on homeschooling them, to the point to where the state police showed up with machine guns. Like, you guys need to calm the shit down, or we're going to throw the parents in a mental asylum.
Wow.
And we're going to throw the kids into fucking whatever happens to children in Hungary back then. But then they finally start getting to tournaments, and they are dominating. All three of the girls. It's their first national, like, sort of international tournament. It was the first tournament that they could go to within Hungary. They beat every team they faced, all three of them together.
Shit.
Only two of them had draws, but no losses. With Judit being like, they could see she had a gift. So what's interesting is we kind of start off talking to her, and then right away, as the trailer alluded to, one of the greatest chess players ever, Garry Kasparov. He's already talking about. He's in the documentary himself, along with Judit. Both of her sisters, her parents. They are all interviewed over the course of the film. And an incredible amount of original footage too of these events as they're occurring. So that's always kind of nice. I like when documentaries, it's not all reenactment, it's not all just simulated scenes of things, but we actually get to see the moments unfolding that we're talking about. But it's incredible. She was limited initially to playing only in women's tournaments until her score just goes. There's chess player ratings that they go off of.
Huh.
Her score got so fucking high, it's like they can't deny her playing men anymore. And then they threw her into the first and the first tournament she went into with other men. They were getting so pissed she was beating him, like crushing him so hard they wouldn't shake her hand when the match was over. Like it was hardcore, but they couldn't believe was 12 years old. She had won her first international tournament, taking gold in there's this chess Olympics that they would do in Europe back then. She was invited to, finally, when they were allowed to leave the country and go to Madrid. She just kept climbing until Kasparov started to really hear about her. He was aware of the Polgár sisters, but it was Judit that was the one that was really shining the brightest out of all three of them. And it was, honestly, I was fascinated with this. I used to really enjoy chess a lot when I was in elementary school. I liked playing it whenever I had the opportunity. And these strategies are well beyond anything I ever did, except for a couple of simple moves that I like doing. But the mental game that goes on here and the things that you're running in your head at any given time, it was incredible. It took her. She faced Kasparov 15 times before the incredible achievement that she had finally landed had occurred. But I think almost more the 14th match was interesting because it lasted for like 6 fucking hours. And it was like they were talking about, they're just going blow for blow till there's almost nothing left on the board. and there was a fatal error then resulted in her loss when she wanted that fucking win so bad. She was on the tip of becoming grandmaster for a long time, and then she became like one of the. She beat Bobby Fischer's record of the youngest to win a tournament by like 4 months. She's 4 months younger than he was, and he said women will never be champions and grand champions and grandmasters in chess. She fucking crushed all of those things, and all of those guys had to eat their words.
Nice.
I really enjoyed this, and it's pretty quick. It's only 90 minutes. I think you don't even need to be super into chess to appreciate the trials and tribulations this woman and her family went through to get to the place she was in, and the incredible and very interesting life she lived. And she's still proud of her achievements. She's only retired only a few short years ago from playing professional chess, but fascinating woman, fascinating story. Highly recommend if you're feeling like a documentary, throw this one in your.
Now, is the documentary like fast and kinetic like that trailer? It was so punk rock sounding. Like,
yeah,
it just
there's a lot of that. They like because it speaks to the time because there's a lot of this like they're finally getting exposed to other parts of the other countries nearby that they for so long they were shuttered down to within the borders of Hungary, that when they were finally getting exposed to these other things. Almost like an enlightenment, and it's she's getting to see the strategies of other players and absorb all this the way other people play the game, and the respect for the game itself around the world and how they look at it. It's just really interesting. There's several other chess masters they interview who are fans of a lot of these other people who were referenced in the film, both Polgar and Kasparov. And it's just, yeah, I just found it really interesting. It moves pretty quick like that.
Nice.
There's but it brings up that question of like, when you see an extremely talented genius level person operating in this specific field, what did it take to get to that point? And they're not afraid to dig into what the things they put up with, the lengths they went to see that through, and then to turn out 3 incredible chess players, and then one of them
crazy.
to become, I think she was the first female grandmaster. But God, yeah, it was just really cool.
Forgive
story.
me for sounding dumb. I think I know the answer is probably no, but I never watched the show. But this doesn't have anything to do with the Queen's Gambit, right? Totally, that's like a made up story, or
no? Yeah, that's not this. It's even a different decade. This is mostly the 80s into 90s.
Okay, so the Queen's Gambit was like 50s, 60s, 60s, 70s.
60s, 70s, I think.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
And then different country entirely too. But
fair enough.
But there's
England
things,
or whatever, probably.
I think there's some topics, if you found that interesting, but you wanted like a real story kind of based in a world kind of similar to that, this is definitely something to watch. Doesn't have all the liberal drug use that occurs in Queen's Gambit.
I bet you see some cigarettes though, right?
Oh yeah, that you do. That you do. But interesting story. I really enjoyed it. Nice. I do like watching documentaries like this, and I think the style in which they did it, because this is directed by Rory Kennedy, she did a great job. Yeah, so I'm gonna give Queen of Chess 3 slices of toast.
Badass, man. Like I'm intrigued. Like that trailer really sounded badass. It sounds riveting, interesting, and crazy to think that less than 30 years ago you couldn't have like a female chess player be a grand master or whatnot. That's crazy.
Or it was so segregated too. Like women could only play women, men would only play men, and she fucking destroyed that barrier and just kept rampaging past it. It's she's a very interesting person.
Fuck yeah. Awesome. Sounds intriguing, man. I'm kind of gonna add that one to my queue, I think.
Oh,
all right.
Nice.
I have the latest Disney Pixar movie, Hoppers.
What is this? Mabel, we call it Hoppers. Hoppers? We put this into this. Yes, this into this. It worked! And they were in the same den.
No. How you doing, girl? What's up? Nice feathers.
I understand you.
It's good to be alive. I have some things I'd like to say.
Lizard, lunchtime snack, giant snake, ants bite back, slippery log, dancing frog. Enough.
Disney and Pixar's Hoppers, rated PG.
All right. So this, of course, is a Disney Pixar movie. If I had to tell you what it's like, I'm going to say it's like Avatar meets Over the Hedge or Avatar versus...
But it's not Avatar. It's not Avatar.
No, not at all. And they call that out in the movie, which is
I love
fantastic. So essentially, there is this young woman who, growing up, she's always related more towards animals, and she's always getting in trouble trying to do what's right for animals. And then she goes to her grandmother's house, and the two of them bond over going to this like wooded area. There's a gladed area in her grandmother's yard that they just sit there for hours and watch nature go by, and it's so serene. And years later, her grandmother's dead, and one of the last things she promised her grandmother is she'd look after the glade and all the animals there. And, of course, the city wants to knock down that land and build a highway system right above it, and their excuse is, well, there's no animals there. And that's kind of weird because this young girl knows, no, there's animals there. And then she finds out they were kind of forced out. And she discovers that one of her professors at her college created this hopper system, which is essentially a way to put your consciousness into like a robotic animal. So she kind of steals that and goes rogue and because she finds out if you get essentially like high ranking beaver or otter, the beaver, to build a dam, all of nature should come back. And she has 2 days to prove to this town or the city that animals do live there. And so she ends up going there and finding out what happened to all the animals and why they left. And she's like, hey, we got to have an uprising. We got to prove to the humans that we belong here, that this is our homeland. And she kind of stirs up shit because all these animals eventually create their own ecosystem elsewhere that's run by this big giant beaver who's kind of laid back. And they have this whole ecosystem that works for them. And she's like, no. You guys shouldn't be living like this. You should live the way you've always lived. And that kind of causes some issues and some shit happens that kind of really shit hits the fan for both the animals and the humans. And some wacky things happen. But it's a really sweet, sincere story. You'll laugh. You'll cry. It has a great cast. As our main character, Mabel, you get Piper Curda. I've seen her in a couple of things. She's really good, but she's very animated here, which is great. The second co-star of this movie who really gets a shine as King George is Bobby Moynihan. Normally,
cool.
Bobby, I love in everything. And normally he's just kind of the dim-witted kind of sidekick or background character. And his character's a little goofy, but he really is earnest here, and he kind of cares about everyone, and he gets to shine. As the crummy mayor of the city, you got John Hamm, then you got Dave Franco, you got Meryl Streep, Heidi Klum, Isaiah Whitlock Jr., Sam Richardson, and a whole bunch of other people popping up in here. And it's all about nature coming together and kind of taking back their land. And it mainly makes you look at the fact that humans and animals should coexist and finding that way to make it work. And it's about ecosystem and about deforestation. There's a lot going on here. And this movie's only an hour and 45 minutes. And, like, it slightly drags in the last acts, but barely. Like, because most of it goes by pretty quickly.
Okay.
In the animation style, it's not the best Pixar's put out, but it's not the worst. This is definitely a step above Elio, which was their last movie, and a lot of people didn't dig that. This kind of lives like in between, I guess you could say, Elio and Toy Story. It has heart, it has soul, it has comedy. I feel like kids and adults can like it. Yeah, families can go and enjoy this movie together. Like I said, it has a great cast. It's funny. The animals are cute and adorable. I mean, it's everything you want out of a Pixar movie, essentially. Is it perfect? No, but it's pretty darn good. I'm going to give Hoppers 2.5 slices.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's coming to theaters this Friday, March 6th. Definitely worth checking out.
Any music of note in this? I feel like that was the one thing I didn't hear you mention, given it's a Pixar movie.
Surprisingly, I don't think so. No,
I
not
think that
that
stood out.
that comes to my head. No, there was no
Interesting.
like
Okay.
musical numbers. Yeah. What I will say, I don't know. I've never picked up in the past couple of Disney Pixar movies, like the opening where we're seeing like the land, and then we're seeing the castle. I hadn't realized that like if you look over to the right, you can see Pride Rock, and I think if you look to the left, you can see like a frozen type mountain. And I don't know if that's always been there or if they've redesigned it now.
Oh, shit.
But that kind of caught me off guard a bit.
Interesting.
Um,
Yeah, I don't recall that. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's something to look out for. If that's a new addition
Yeah.
to that new opening Disney card they always play.
Yeah. Oh, and one person I forgot. One of the professors is Kathy Najimy. I always say. her name
Oh,
wrong.
Kathy
Peggy
Najimy,
Hill,
yes.
So, yeah. So that's kind of fun to see.
Oh, yeah.
To listen to. But I don't think there's not a post credit scene. I think there might be a mid credit scene. I believe. But it's definitely a charming, fun movie. If you get little ones, I'd suggest checking it out. Or if you're like me and you like Disney movies and you don't
Yeah.
have kids, I think you'll still dig it.
Yeah, for sure.
Sweet. Well, that is going to do it for our reviews and essentially this episode.